Well, they're beautiful, they're colorful, they're fragrant, and they're one of my favorite spring flowers, the lovely peony. Both herbaceous peonies and tree peonies. And Kevin and I are going to make arrangements. So welcome again, Kevin.
Thank you. It's nice to be
It's
here.
so nice for you to come on the show and show some of your magic, because the peony party wouldn't have been the peony party without those arrangements.
Well, it was a big team. But
So
and your
great.
garden is what provides it all. We have here a whole set of herbaceous peonies. So we have...
Which are the shrubs that grow in most gardens in the Northeast or the
They're the woody ones that sort of die down in the wintertime.
Right.
And there's 30 species and 1,000 named cultivars. Did you know that?
Yes.
I didn't know that. So anyway, this
I
one,
grew them, dear.
this one is called Monsieur Jules Elie, which is really soft
Right.
pink. Which
Sarah
actually,
Bernhardt. I
Sarah
have
Bernhardt's
those.
pretty. I like that.
Yep.
Red Charm. Coral Sunset, which is beautiful. Is this the one that you moved?
Festiva Maxima.
Did you move it from Bedford to
Turkey Hill
and back
and
to Bedford?
exactly.
That one's really good. I like that. Scarlet O'Hara is this really pretty magenta. That's really nice. And Coral Charm looks like Coral Sunset, but just a little bit simpler. And then we
Right.
have Duchess here, and then Kansas. But there are two here that aren't. There are two that are missing here. One's Martha Stewart.
I know.
And one's Zuzu. I didn't know there were two peonies named after
I
you
have
guys.
both of them in my peony garden.
Those are great. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
So preparing the containers.
Right.
Once you have your flowers, and these actually are not from my garden.
No, not yet.
Because we're saving them for the brunch. The lunch, the breakfast.
field of peonies.
You have to, once you have your flowers and they're all conditioned and they're all in really perfect shape, you have to prepare your containers. Now, these are Simon Pierce bowls.
Aren't they beautiful?
Oh,
this
so
one's
beautiful.
a Corinth vase.
So
I
show
like
how
that.
you prepared that one.
So this, we took this really great clear, it looks like Scotch tape, but it's not, floral tape. And we made a crosshatch.
So you made a grid.
So we
yeah.
made a grid, which is great.
And that'll hold them upright.
Right. You want the peonies to be really tall and stiff.
this, because
That's
it's such
better.
a wide container, I am putting a little bit of floral clay on a hairpin frog. These are frogs.
Right.
And this I'm going to set right down in the bottom. The reason I'm using the clay is because I don't want that frog to scratch the borrowed bowl.
But don't you usually, I thought you usually do saran wrap or something like that.
Well, you can put saran wrap in there too, but these are heavy, so I don't want this to move at
around.
all. Okay. And then some floral food.
Right.
Don't forget floral
Floral
food.
food.
All flowers, all cut flowers should have some sort of food in the water. It really does prolong their life, and the water should be cold when you're pouring it into this container. And we have quite a nice pitcher of water here. I always put water in first.
All
So
right.
you have yours in
Yeah,
already.
mine was all set up.
Okay. So you don't have to fill it yet. Once you get it in place, then fill it. Now, okay, so I have anemones, these really deep red
Yeah,
charms.
the red
and
charms are
I
great.
have, I have beautiful hellebores. I love hellebores so much. So
I always thought of hellebores as a winter flower, but it seems to be extending. Is that true? Or am I just remembering
well, no,
incorrectly?
they are the first flower to bloom in the spring, and
Right.
one of the first to bloom in the garden.
Uh-huh.
And they continue to bloom for quite a long time, and they're great cut flower, really great.
So I have these flashpoint double tulips, and then I'm using the viburnum, which was really good this year. Last year, viburnum wasn't so good.
Yeah, so tell everybody what you look for when you're buying flowers, Kevin, like
Well,
these.
it depends. If it's for a party and you want, or a photo shoot, and you really want to get them at their best, we'll look for something that's not quite full blown, but almost full blown, because they open really quickly once you get them home and get them in water.
And some of these might have been picked months ago and kept in the refrigerator in bud form. And that's what peonies are amazing. You can cut them all, wrap them, and put them in the refrigerator for a month or two.
Yeah, they're pretty hardy.
Yeah.
But when we do your party, we cut them in the morning and then we stick them out there.
Yes. But because I'm going to have a breakfast, we're going to have to do this the night before.
Yeah, gonna have to get up really early. So what's the difference between a tree peony and an herbaceous peony?
Well, a tree is a shrub, a woody shrub, and you never, never, never prune it because the wood stays all year.
But you wrap it. Don't you wrap it in the wintertime?
I put hay around the bottom, and we put a big windbreak all around the tree peony bed just to keep the desiccating winds from blowing. Now, I'm putting all peonies in first.
Oh God, you're going really quick.
Well, guess what? This is TV, Kevin.
I gotta snap to it.
Kevin thinks we're at my house and we can just chatter away
Chit-chat.
here.
So
Yes.
you can either do a big, tall, if peonies are really good because they're so flexible, you can either do a big, tall arrangement, you could do something low like you have, or what we did at the last party, which were those little bowls all over the table, which were pretty great because
Single
everybody
blooms,
could see
because
them.
they're important enough singly to use like that. I prefer them like that, actually, because I can then see the beauty of each of those different types of peonies that we're talking
And
about.
some of them are actually quite massive.
Oh, they're so
the
utterly
span
beautiful.
of a bloom
See,
can be
I
pretty hard.
love these hellebores stuck in here. Oh, so beautiful. But really make sure that each flower that you put in the container is secure. You don't want it to be moving around once you make the arrangement. You want it really nice. Aaron made that one there. Don't you love that one?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Where do you
This-
like to put it in the house? Because they're not, you really can't put them everywhere.
Well, I like them if you have a wide mantelpiece. Two on either
Either
side
end.
of a mantelpiece are really beautiful. I like to put them on center hall tables.
They're not particularly fragrant, though, so that's good. You can
Oh,
use
some
them as
are.
a
Some are a little bit more fragrant than others. And actually, last year we found so many with great fragrance. We're going to be making scented candles out of the fragrance.
That's good.
Yeah, peony.
Oh, that's right. You have those.
Peony. They're just, some of
Scientists
them
came
are
up to
just
the garden.
unique. Oh, these are beautiful. The anemones with these. Oh, you did a great job choosing these flowers today.
Oh, thank
Really,
you.
Really
This
beautiful.
is, you know, the great thing about peonies is you can actually mix them with other things. I mean, they're big and they're impressive flowers,
Now,
but they
this
actually
arrangement-
do a good job. When you
Now,
mix
this
them up.
arrangement has sweet peas, and these berries are called
Hypericum.
Hypericum berries. And now, changing the water. I like to change the water after about 3 days. What about you?
Well, what I do is I just add to it every day. But,
Well, I do that too, but then if it starts to look a little bit in a
It's-
vase like that, if it starts to get cloudy,
Yeah,
absolutely change
That's
it.
a problem. But then when you've got this grid that's taped on there, it can be kind of problematic. So you just have to be very careful. And this is sort of not my first choice in terms of arranging because
You
I
can
like to change
siphon.
my mind.
You
and
can
it's kinda-
siphon the water out. Do you know how to do that?
What's the man from La Grenouille? He's the one that
Yeah, he
taught us how to
siphons.
do that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. That's a little bit beyond me. But
What do you mean? You don't like the taste of rotten water?
yeah, the whole concept is a little unsettling.
What do you think?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think
I
it's-
like the green with that.
I think it's really nice. And yours is spectacular.
Thank you.
Really beautiful. So much fun to work with peonies, and it's fun to work with you, Kevin. We'll be back in a minute.